here I am playing the best squash in my life right now. And all of a sudden that just stops. And right then and there, one movement and it's just gone. I was 2-love, 10-5, match ball up in the semifinals of a tournament in Colombia, and I ruptured my Achilles. I just was on the floor of the court in Colombia just thinking, oh my God, I just ruptured my Achilles. It was by far the hardest thing that I've ever had to do. And there were so many ups and downs, and there were so many times where I just thought to myself, like, am I ever gonna come back from this? It was in those moments where I wanted to be competing so badly again, but I knew that I was nowhere near competing yet. Having to go through just relearning how to walk again, having to go through watching all the other players on tour compete and knowing that I still had so far to go to get back. And you know, it's mentally, physically so tough. But you know, there was never really a doubt in my mind that I wasn't gonna come back from it. It was more of the fact that I knew I was gonna come back from it, and I knew I was gonna come back stronger. Walking back on court 10 months later for my first professional tournament back was such an emotional experience. It was just filled with joy and happiness and nerves and doubt, and also just kind of, I almost wanted to like cry on court even before I started playing, just because I worked so hard just to get back to that point, and just to be able to be back playing again and doing something I love is something that, you know, I'm never gonna really take for granted ever again.
When I was younger, I was told by quite a lot of people that I wasn't going to make it as a squash player. They said I was too tall, too big, and I was just seen as the fat kid, really. I was overweight, and although I was a good squash player, they said, well, you're never going to actually make it as a career though. That was quite hard to take, but I was really determined to use that as fuel, to work hard and make it as a squash player and prove them wrong. I want to use the voice that I now have to show young, aspiring, not only squash players, but any young girls and boys and women, that they can do what they want. They don't need to listen to other people. They can go reach for the stars if they want. It's in their control.
Squash, I don't know, I always feel like it's the only way I can truly express myself without being afraid of any judgment. I'm an outgoing person, but maybe not a very adventurous person. Squash has always been about being myself and doing the things I cannot do off the court, expressing myself. Diving, for instance, is one thing I would never be able to do outside the court. I would never be able to dive inside a swimming pool, but on a squash court it feels so tempting. It's like I'm living the moment, doing things that I wouldn't normally do, or I wouldn't normally feel comfortable doing. Is all about living for me, and the only way to express that is on the squash court, and the only way to express that on a squash court is by taking risks. If I hit a nick and it goes in, it's great. If it doesn't, who cares? I'm doing it for myself.
My passion for the game is what makes me play better, and after a tough loss, that's what I think about to enjoy the game again and, you know, go back to work. 2.5 years ago, I had a really tough loss in a PSA tournament in Egypt, and I remember after that loss, my coach came to me and asked me, okay, do you still want to work together? And I was a bit shocked, because usually we always try to you know, find answers together, and this time he was not sure he could give me more to become a better player. So I had a night to think about it. The next day I was like, you know what, no, my passion for the game and for our work together is stronger than anything. It's one of the main things I try to find on court, when I'm on court, just enjoying my game, enjoying what I do.
I was very lazy as a junior and sort of just played squash because I loved it and I loved hanging out with people and being sociable, but it got to a point where I guess I needed to really nail down and figure out if I wanted to do it, and I turned 18 and really felt like I wanted to play properly, wanted to play professionally. So I trained really hard, lost a lot of weight to be fitter, and from that I gained so much like mental strength. Yeah, working with a psychologist and really trying to overcome my natural laziness and being so relaxed, it's easy for me to drop into being, as I said, relaxed and lazy. So for me, it's something I've really had to work on. I always want to enjoy playing squash, and I think that's a big part of why we do what we do.
I always have a vision, I always have a goal, but at the same time I always wanted to live day by day, take it step by step and never be in a rush and never put pressure on myself. I always try to enjoy my day, enjoy my life and be happy in what I'm doing, and I see that that's the main reason why I'm always going to be successful in what I love and what I'm doing. So yeah, I always like to take it step by step, live day by day and be happy and enjoy it, and no pressure at all, but always have a goal and aim for something that I always wanted to be and put it as the main thing in my life.
I used to pay attention to what people think of me or what people say, and that used to affect my path of thinking. But I realized that it doesn't matter how they think I should do things. What matters is that at the end of the day, I do things my way. I was told that to be number one in the world, you have to give up a few things from your personality or from your characteristics, and I didn't like the sound of that. I tried so hard to hold on to my values and to myself, to me. And I think that eventually, somehow, thank God, I managed, alhamdulillah, to reach the top, and saying proudly that I think I did things my way.